Hello, everyone. I found another way to set my phone up so I don't have to put it in the tripod separately for the demonstration. So I hope this will be better for you to see and experience. I wanted to say that I started my online classes this week. So it has been, I think, a bit intense again. I don't know if comparing to the week before, because of of everything changing and in kind of completely new way. I find completely new way of living. Hard to compare if last week was much more intense than this one. But it's definitely a new experience this week. I'm actually really happy that I was able to, and I am able to run the classes online. I see there's 2 people. You can say hello if you want. It would be nice to know who you are, see your name. Yeah, so I started on Monday with Monday evening classes. And it's a completely new tool, new way for me, so I was a bit worried and stressed with that. But it was really an incredible experience, seeing my students, and being able to even talk. Hello, Barbara. Nice to see you. I was going to say. Yeah, very good. And for some things, actually, I realized it's easier online. I know how it may sound, but it's, in a sense, some things were easier online. So for the quality of images, like I was able to do a really good consultation critique. I don't like to use that word, but well, by doing it on the screen with a bigger image. So that was really a really good experience. I really enjoyed that. And then I was able to share music, so we did have a similar, obviously it's not the same as seeing people physically, but we did have a similar experience, and it was very important to be able to talk to people and see the support as well. I'm really grateful for the support of my students. And I can really see this time that we can really support each other, and it's really happening. It's not only the idea. Sometimes maybe before I was always thinking, people are there to support each other, but maybe I wouldn't see it as much, feel it as much, but now it's very strong. So this is, I'm very grateful for that. So I started also Wednesday classes online, and then I will start beginner's class next week. I think it's going to be on Thursday, daytime as well. But I will post it on Facebook as well. You can still join all the classes. So just in case you're thinking because they're started, it's not possible to join. It's you can join anytime. Always it's like that. Always with my classes, but especially now, I don't want things to be too tight, and I want things to be open. So yeah. And for today, what I was thinking, I will continue working on the small face of Archangel Michael that I started beginning of this week. But what I really want to do, I want to introduce a little bit of my, let's say, personal style, personal touch. It just feels like the time for me as well to connect with what I really want to express in my work, and it's not I wouldn't be able to explain in so many words It's more, it's not really verbal, but it comes through my experience. It's kind of intuitive. So for you, maybe that will help as well. I think just to being aware or knowing, hearing someone saying that it's a lot about intuition here. Of course, you're learning and you need to, you know, have some guidance from someone, some technical information and skill. But it's a lot about intuition and what you are connecting within yourself with. So it's your, I suppose it's your story, it's your experience. I always find that. So that's why I love icons that are contemporary in style. Barbara's just saying, I think personal style of icon painting is very inspiring for people now. I'm glad to hear that. I am, yeah. I've always been leaning towards that way of seeing icon, understanding icon. I think to me it's a deeply personal practice. So I always promote contemporary style, but as a contemporary style, I don't only mean the language, you know, the art, a language of contemporary arts. I also mean more personal style. So the style that comes from your experience, from experiencing the world around you, but also inside. But it's probably impossible to separate those two. So I am using a lot in my work. I've used to use a lot of blue and green. I think I'm slowly going back to doing that again. But I'm always exploring different ways of painting, different colors, different styles. My style is not always, you know, the same. Even within maybe short period of time, it would change sometimes quite significantly, I think. It's just because I'm always looking for new ways, but also I'm always trying to allow something that is happening in me to come out in my art. So I think I'll start slowly. This time I think it's going to be a bit a better experience in terms of switching from the view like this for my on my face to the icon. So let's see how it works, just slowly. And just I really appreciate your feedback as well. Oh, yeah. Okay, I think it's okay. Just let me know if you can see well. I don't always see the comments very well in this position, but I'll always try to read them as we go. So this is the icon that I started earlier this week, and it's, as you can see on the face, I will focus on the face mainly, maybe a little bit hair. It's a bit too much for me to do everything, I think, and such a short session. But this time I won't really try to focus on stages. I will just do the painting as I would usually paint, just to explain. So for some demonstration I kind of change the way I work, just to show separate stages. I'm sorry, this is my cat meowing really loudly. But normally I don't really work like that. Oh, that's good. Thank you, Barbara. That's good that we can see it better. So I'm glad. I'm slowly trying to improve, you know, as I go. It's good to have a feedback for that. So yeah, so normally I don't work with kind of separate stages. First, second, last lights. I don't separate them that much. I go back and forth, do different things. So I'm going to try, see if that works, to do it like this today. I don't know, I will see. It's a bit different when when you demonstrate or like film yourself, then working from my studio just on my own, having the whole day So I wanted to introduce some blue. I'm trying to decide which. So I've got these two blues that are both ultramarine, but they're a bit different. This one's a bit lighter. Maybe use this one. So for this, if I use this on its own, it's just going to go right into the surface. It's going to make it darker. I don't want that, so I will mix it with white. Just trying to make sure that you can see. I was also going to say, I remembered Barbara was asking me about driftwood, painting on driftwood, and I remembered, it reminded me that I used to paint quite a lot on that surface. It's a beautiful surface to work on. Yeah, and I love the idea that it comes already with a story. You know, this piece of wood surface has been traveling quite a lot, so there is a story there. I think it's quite incredible. So me painting on it is just adding a little bit to that story. Maybe a bit lighter, I think. So I think this is my favorite way of working. So as well, I feel like the image is being discovered in a sense throughout the process. And you see, going back to the lights that I've already done the other day, so that helps me to achieve the surface that I want. So the smoothness, but also boldness. So enough surface, enough layers. Or even like kind of losing what you've already done, in a sense, covering what you've already done. That actually contributes to a really beautiful surface. So it's worth going back and forth in the within the process. I don't know if you can see that the surface is becoming smoother within the lights. Thank you, Barbara. So Barbara's asking if there is a way to see on the palette if the proportion of the egg and water is still okay. It's no, on the palette it's almost impossible. Sometimes when but the balance is really off, if the pigments are not mixing, like really separating, that means you need to add a bit of egg. Otherwise, it's very hard. So just a reminder: you look at your surface. So if the surface becomes really glossy, shiny, that means you have too much egg in your mixture. If the surface is very matte, or you can rub off the pigment with your, like the pigment would stay on your finger, that means there is not enough egg, so there's not enough binder. So you need to be watching your surface, basically. That's the best way to judge that. And also kind of being aware that different pigments they may need a bit more egg or less egg. So if the pigment is very dry, then it needs a bit more egg. If you see the pigment's very oily, fatty, greasy, it needs a bit less egg. So the proportion that I gave you, 1 to 3, it's just a guidance. And then with experience you learn to just do it by, by judging how your surface is and by what pigments you are using. And also just experimenting, just experiment and see what happens. Then you become more comfortable with the technique. And then in the end, you don't really measure. So I feel like I want to leave it at this stage for a while. I'm going to try to move the phone up so you can see me. Okay. A little bit more. So I'm going to see if maybe you can see better like this. This is how it is like at the moment. So I've used quite a lot of blue. This is what I like. And I'm thinking I might want to carry on working on that one and maybe just include it in one of the lives next week. I'm still thinking if to do one tomorrow or not, so I will post on Facebook on the page, just so you can tune in if you want. It's quite, yeah, it's like work. I think it's work in progress, navigating how many to do with the actual amount of work that I need to do. So being, kind to myself, but at the same time wanting to share this with you and connect with you. Yeah, and thank you for watching. It would be really nice if you leave some comments even after the live ends, the video ends. That sounded a bit and yeah, if you want to support me, you can donate. There's a link in the text to the video, but also you can also support me by sharing this video with your friends. That would be much appreciated. It would be very helpful. And yeah, this is my way of supporting you as well in this time, just giving you a little bit of practice that can help you to, I suppose, to find your way in this time, and maybe take your mind off things as well. I think it's just taking your mind off things. It's important now as well. But I also found allowing enough time to yourself. I'm trying to find a balance with talking to people, but also being there for people, but also being there for myself. So I hope this helps with that. And I might see you tomorrow. If not, I'll see you definitely on Monday. And you can also drop me a message, drop me a line in the comment, or drop me a message asking maybe there's something that you want me to demonstrate, and I'll be happy to do it. And I hope you have a lovely day. And if I don't see you tomorrow, lovely weekend. Take care all.